If you've ever felt invisible, this story will hit different. Because on one cold night, a single plate of food, given by a woman with almost nothing, set off a chain of events nobody saw coming. And by the end of this story, her entire life was rewritten. The old man stood by the restaurant window, shaking from the cold, staring at leftovers scraped into the trash. Most people looked away. Some whispered. One customer even complained, "Can someone get that homeless man away from the door?" But one person didn't turn her head. A poor black waitress named Naomi. And that one decision changed everything. Naomi was 26 years old, working double shifts at a small diner just outside downtown Chicago. Her uniform was faded. Her shoes were worn thin. Her smile, practiced, polite, and hiding exhaustion. She worked 6 days a week, sometimes 7. What? Because her mom was sick. Her rent was overdue. And college dreams? Long buried under survival mode. That night business was slow. Tips were worse. And then she saw him. The homeless man. Gray beard. Torn coat. Shoes held together with duct tape. He wasn't begging. He was just standing there, hungry. Naomi watched as customers complained. "He's scaring people. He shouldn't be here. Call security." Her manager glanced at the man, then at Naomi. "Don't get involved," he whispered. "We can't afford trouble." Naomi nodded. But something in her chest tightened. Because she remembered being 12 years old, standing in line at a shelter with her mother, pretending not to be hungry. She looked at the plate in her hands. A customer had sent it back untouched. Steak, potatoes, warm bread, perfectly good food. Her heart started racing. If she gave it away, she could get fired. If she didn't, she knew she'd regret it. And then she made her choice. Naomi walked outside. The cold bit her face. She approached the man slowly and said softly, "Sir, would you like something to eat?" The old man looked up, startled. "You don't have to do that," he said quickly. "I don't want trouble." She smiled. "I know." She handed him the plate. The man's hands shook as he took it. He didn't eat right away. Instead, he looked at her. And his eyes filled with tears. "I haven't had a warm meal in 3 days," he whispered. Naomi swallowed hard. "Please," she said. "Eat." He did. Right there on the sidewalk. And Naomi stood with him until he finished. When she walked back inside, her manager was waiting. "Did you give food to that man?" he asked sharply. Naomi nodded. "I'm sorry," she said. "I'll take responsibility." The restaurant went quiet. Customers stared. The manager sighed. "You're lucky," he said. That plate was headed for the trash. Relief washed over her. But she had no idea. The real consequences were just beginning. The next morning, Naomi was called into the manager's office. Her stomach dropped. Inside sat a man in a clean suit. Expensive watch. Calm eyes. He looked familiar. Very familiar. The man stood up slowly. And smiled. "Good morning, Naomi." Her heart skipped. It was him. The homeless man. But now, transformed. No torn coat. No duct tape shoes. Just dignity. And power. The man extended his hand. "My name is Charles Whitmore," he said. "I'm the majority owner of this restaurant chain." Naomi froze. I don't understand." He nodded. "I know." Charles explained. He had grown wealthy decades ago. Sold companies. Built restaurants. But after his wife passed away, he walked away from everything. Lived on the streets, by choice, to understand how people treated the invisible. And last night was his final test. "Most people ignored me," he said. "Some were cruel." He looked directly at Naomi. "But you fed me, when you didn't have much yourself." Charles turned to the manager. "She's been working double shifts," he said calmly. "Covering others. Never late." The manager nodded nervously. Charles turned back to Naomi. "I don't reward kindness with words," he said. "I reward it with opportunity." Naomi's hands trembled. "What does that mean?" He smiled. "It means your life is about to change." That same week, Naomi's medical bills for her mother were paid, in full. Her rent was covered for the next year. And then came the biggest shock of all. Charles offered to sponsor her education. Not just tuition. Books. Housing. Everything. "You wanted to study business," he said. "I need people like you running my companies." Naomi cried. Not soft tears. The kind that come from years of holding it together. Today, Naomi no longer wears a diner uniform. She manages 3 locations. She mentors young women who remind her of herself. And every month, she funds meals for the homeless. Because she knows something most people forget. You don't need money to change a life. Sometimes, all it takes is a plate of food, and a heart that refuses to look away. So the next time you see someone hungry, remember this story. Because kindness has a way of coming back. Bigger than you ever imagined. Don't forget to like this video, thumbs up if it touched your heart, subscribe for more powerful stories like this, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness still changes lives.